Around you guys.
Okay guys, thank you for tuning in again. We're gonna do another episode of Seatbelt Spirit Talk. And we won't keep it as long as an hour like the last time. But I enjoy these. So today we're picking up the spirit of Mary. And I'm gonna turn the speakers on so you can hear her as she talks now.
Through community tabs.
Wait a minute. I want to run something else. Hold on. Mary, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to speak as we start our ride home. And I'm not going to ask a lot of questions, Mary, because it's been a long day. But I hope you'll give us some information in our get to know ya ride. Y'all are not. I don't think so, because I think I've got the stability control on, so.
You can trust us.
So I can trust y'all, huh? I'm beginning to wonder who I can trust here these days. Anyhows, so Mary, if I can trust you, are you gonna provide a little bit of information to me? Give me a little know-how on who you are? And there may be an interruption here because I've got to stop and get some gas too on my way home. It is currently breath. Am I talking too much? Are you telling me to take a breath? Or she could be referring to, Mary, could be referring to that it is really cold out. It is currently, the thermostat says 47 degrees Fahrenheit, but that could be colder outside, so you definitely could see your breath outside.
Joseph.
Mary and Joseph. Is that a symbolism to Christmas is almost here? It's hard to believe that next Thursday's Thanksgiving. Or Joseph could be a spirit relation to you? Family relation? And guys, if you do see a blue light up, that is the vape pen that I've got. There are no cops, no nothing like that. I don't think that matters, but I am excited once
we live close.
Okay, so we have two spirits, Mary and Joseph. Mary said that we could trust her. She referred to Joseph in that we live close. Were you part of the community here? If you live close to this area? And I'm really glad that you're riding with us tonight. I'm Not sure what era you are from. If you want to let us know that too, you're more than welcome to. And I'll refer to we as in I, because there's just me in the car.
Many died here.
Were you... Many died here. I'm just trying to connect a little bit, because just where I came by is 2 assisted living centers. So, Mary, Joseph, were you connected to the senior living here? I'm not really sure what else is around now. There could be a cemetery that is a short ways from here. And I'm just trying to rationalize as I get the words, folks, so. Many died here. Can you tell me what area you're from?
Anyone.
Any era? Well, I just asked because it helped me kind of narrow down my thinking. So 1800s, 1900s, 2000s. Were you young or old when you passed? Do you know that you've passed? All legit questions, I'm just asking. And I thank you for the effort you're taking to answer them for me. Amazes me. 40 miles an hour.
Children are playing.
So, from where you're speaking to me, can you see children playing? And to reference on it, I know, guys, it's dark, so you can't logistically see. But there's a daycare I just came past. So, I don't... Maybe the spirits see more than we do. Is it dark or light? I always kind of think of looking at it, if anybody's ever seen the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman, I kind of picture in my mind.
She will touch you.
That is perfectly fine. Any spirit is welcome to touch. I'm not afraid. But I'm kind of thinking when we have spirits that are communicating to us, I always kind of go back to the thought of the others, thinking, is it them living in their current time and space and
Protect.
it? Very good. So you're protecting what's around you. That is awesome. So are you watching children playing where you are and you feel you're protecting them? There's a cemetery that I'm coming past I refer to the cemetery in the woods. There's a children's section there also. So I always wonder, you know, there's so many thoughts that go through my head with these. So is it they're seeing, is Mary, if I'm speaking with you, or Joseph, are you seeing the children playing in your era, your time and space?
No.
No. Is Nell a name, a surname? Can you tell me more about Nell? I do certainly like the spirit talker, because when I am talking as we go along, and the nights that I do this and I don't film it, it does correspond to what seems like what is around me, which I'm impressed with it. I really am. I think with Spirit Talker, I've gotten a lot of legitimate answers.
Stream.
I am filming this for a YouTube stream, or a YouTube channel that I run. And then also, off to the right of me, there's a stream that runs down along near the highway. On the other side of the guardrails. Okay, guys, I am going to be pausing this in just a second, because
The children play games.
So, Mary, where you are, you're seeing the children playing? I guess I could go around and sit here and wait for somebody to open up. Okay, Mary, please stay with me. I'm going to pause this for a minute so I can get some gas for my automobile. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we've gotten our gas, so now we'll turn the Spirit Talker back on. And we were speaking with Mary and Joseph, and then they provided us the name of Nell, and the children were playing and running around. And I believe that Mary was a protector of the children, based off of some of the answers that have come around. So, Mary, please feel free to communicate and pick up with your story if you like. We're just taking a ride home.
Enid.
Enid. Enid. That's a neat, interesting name. I do notice one thing with the Spirit Talker, when I do get names, is that they're older names. And I'm talking like the 1800s, 1900s. I mean, Mary obviously is not an old name, or is not a period name, but it still interests me. So is Enid part of your family, Mary?
Are you afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. Is there something I should be leery of or afraid of that you feel? Y'all can't see it, but again, we're coming across Center Street Cemetery. That one dates back to the 1700s. And I know I've referred to it in the last episode of the shoebox murder, which I think I am going to do a little bit of a vlog style on that. And a friend of mine knows the caretaker here for the cemetery, so I was gonna reach out to him and see if maybe he would be able to show us. If not, if it's they're really buried the
Attractive.
Am I attractive? Are you attractive? We always let the Sadies go. Interesting though that he shut off his light. See, not that I'm not saying nothing pro or con to it, but he had the lights and siren on, and now he shut them off. It always cross. It does make me cross. You're right about that, Mary. It does make me cross when I see that happen, because a lot of the times I've seen a few law enforcement do that, and it's me personal expressing no opinion either way. It makes me cross. It does. Well, you seem very in tune, Mary, to some of the thoughts. Or people's thoughts. Or maybe nothing at all.
Yes, I did.
That's it. See, this is what I like about Spirit Talker. Because when I say something, it matches up in of course not 100%, but Mary indicated cross if the spirit's name is Mary, or Enid, whoever we're communicating with. And she mentioned cross, which I do get irritated. I was just speaking of that, and I complimented her on picking up, and she said, yes, I did.
Where are my ashes?
Well, that would be a good question. I don't know where your ashes are. I'm assuming then if you don't... Do you not know where you were buried? Or maybe somebody still holds your ashes?
I do not understand.
Well, ashes now, in present day here, means that you were cremated and your ashes are either buried, your ashes are put into an urn and they're either returned to the family or they can be buried. I'll use my husband as an example. When he passed away, he requested to be cremated years ago, and his ashes are buried in the cemetery. I didn't want to hold his ashes because he wanted to be buried near his father. So that's what I mean when if somebody's holding on to your ashes, or you're not familiar with maybe who has your ashes, or if they buried your ashes.
He killed.
He killed. So, if nobody knows, my husband passed away at his own hand, if you want to so call it. He unalived. So, I don't know if you're referring to he killed or not, Mary, but yes.
Breath.
I don't know if you're communicating with his spirit and he's not communicating directly. But the night that he went to the hospital, they did put him on
Upset me.
Am I talking to Tony? Now, see, I don't... The answers, now that I bring up my husband, are kind of... making me wonder who I'm speaking with. When he was brought to the hospital, they ended up having to put him on a ventilator. And one of the biggest things my husband said to me, and at the time when it happened, I was at work when he went to the emergency room or when the ambulance was called. I did speak with him, and he didn't want a tube put down. A lady. Okay, well, I'm not sure what the lady reference is. Am I still speaking with Mary? Alright, just so I can wrap up, I'm not gonna really talk about my husband's passing. Unless I get something that's relevant to it. He was very adamant about me not letting them put him a tube down his throat. I did cave because that was the only thing that they had the ability to. At the time that he was in the hospital, they had to do a procedure because he had esophageal varices, and if nobody understands what that is, it means he was bleeding through he was just, I don't know how to put it and get into detail because I don't want to. There was a large amount of blood and bleeding, and I caved. They had to do the endoscopy in order for them to tie off some of the veins that were bleeding within his esophagus. So I did cave.
Can't breathe.
Well, at the time you couldn't. That's why they ended up having to do the endoscopy to help tie off. But once the procedure was done, swelling and whatnot prevented them from taking you off the intubation.
Play.
What do you want to play? Alright, so I'm going to end it as far as things with my husband. That's personal and I don't want to air that out. So I'm not exactly sure what spirit we are speaking with now, if we're still speaking with Mary, because she seems to be with children and she's watching them play, protecting them, and they were running around.
I respect you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So if you were communicating with my husband's spirit, I am more than happy not to speak about that anymore. I respect you as well for giving me that dignity not to have to explain things to people that have no idea. So, Mary, were these children that are playing, are they your children? Are they related to you? Or are you referring to another daycare that we're near? Because there is a big kinder care that...
We can whisper.
Okay. Is it because the children are around you? Are the children young? Is that why you want to whisper? So they can't hear you talking? How old are you, Mary? You said earlier that you lived in the area, or you lived near here.
We can see you all.
You can see us all. Well, it's just me, but... I'm glad that you can see us. Maybe I have more than one spirit riding with me. And it's really hot in the car, so we're going to turn the thermostat down a bit here. It is set at... still hot. I wish y'all could see the area we're coming through. It's normally filled with deer and whatnot. There's a highway over to my right, but over to my left, it's open fields that were part of a couple of farms. Bob. And now I'm curious because Bob was my grandfather and my father. We're both. My father was Bruce Robert. My grandfather was Robert. And they were both farmers.
Amy.
Amy was my grandmother. Her name was Amy Lillian. So, do you know me, Mary? Are you familiar with me personally? You didn't, I guess, as a spirit, you didn't have to know me.
I'm reaching out.
Are you reaching out, communicating for somebody that may not know how to speak? Which I thank you if you are, because you've hit on some real interesting things that make a lot of sense to me, and I understand anybody listening to this, it may not make sense to you.
The loft.
The loft. Well, the loft, if you're speaking, you're reaching out to me for somebody else. The loft would be from the cabin that I spent my summers on growing up. I wouldn't call it a loft itself. It was a summer home. It had 4 bedrooms and a bathroom, a wraparound porch, a kitchen. We had a dock so you could take the boat out onto the lake. I guess maybe that's barren.
Baron.
and I'm not exactly sure how I'm connecting. But again, I don't assume that everything that comes through is going to make 100% sense. Baron. Is that a title?
Hunting.
Hunting would make sense. There's a lot of hunting going on right now. It's hunting season here. Baron and hunting. Was hunting something that somebody liked to do?
You heard us.
Personally, I've heard spirits talking to me before, yes. I don't know if it was you directly that I was hearing, but I have heard spirits communicate. And if you're talking on somebody's behalf for them, and they're related to me, I had an Uncle Ike that passed away on a hunting trip. That's how I got my nickname from my grandfather.
Amanda.
Amanda is a name that's familiar. That would be my dad's mother. She changed her middle name to Rose. There was something about not liking her name Amanda. So when she got married, she took her maiden name and made it her middle name. I'm enjoying this one.
Someone's coming.
Who's coming? Do you have a name of somebody who is it that's coming? Things rattling around in my back seat, so I definitely got to clean it out.
Listen.
It just told me to shush and listen. What am I shushing and listening for? I should be paying attention because there are a lot of deer out at this time. Oh, where you can see the light in front, there's a little sub-power station, and the deer will be in that little field. I don't know how much of it you saw. Why am I listening? What am I listening for?
Sandra.
Sandra. Who's Sandra? cousin that passed, her name was Sandra. Well, she was Sandy.
Spirit.
Is that, I've got a lot of family members that are talking tonight. Or are you still talking on their behalf, Mary? I'm definitely enjoying this. I hope y'all are. I hope you all are enjoying the Seatbelt spirit drives. I'm only going to do it once a week. Obviously, you don't want to do too much. We'll see how it goes. I've gotten 21 views on the last one I uploaded, which is fine. I'm not everybody's cup of coffee.
I have regrets.
I think we all have some regrets at some time. What do you regret? I don't know if you can all see it. If you see the cemetery that's over here to my right, it's dark right now, but what do you regret, Mary? Or does somebody else have regrets that you're speaking for? Well, as far as regrets go, I think we all have something in our past.
Sacred.
Something, okay, so you have something that you regret, but it was sacred? Was it a belief that you had that you broke and you feel bad, or you regret having broken it?
Crying.
I hope you're not crying, Mary. I hope that you understand that you can let go of those emotions. You don't need to be sad. We all have emotions in the
Back.
Back. Were you in pain? Was that why you were crying? Just realized I go by a lot of cemeteries on my way home from work. I've done a video on each of them, except for the one where my husband's buried. That one I will not do an investigation on. Though a friend of mine did share with me that there's a, if you come by it like between 3 and 4 o'clock.
William.
William was my grandfather. He was Robert William. I'm kind of guessing that the spirit of Mary knows some of my relatives that have passed on. To mention Bob and William. Those are pretty direct, spot on answers.
Dare.
Dare? What am I being dared to do? If you could tell me the dare, I almost 99% of the time will accept a dare. Of course, all dressed in black in the middle of the night. That makes a lot of sense.
He killed me.
Who killed you, Mary? Who is he? William? I'm not exactly sure how I'm connecting everything, Mary. I'll certainly try to figure it out.
He's over there.
Well, unfortunately, over there, I don't know if we're referring to what you're seeing. Was it something in the past? Are you referring to the cop that I just went by? Which, if you are, I total respect for letting me know when you see the cops around. Not that I have a heavy foot.
Skeletons.
No, that makes a lot of sense. The cop that's sitting over, we came past a park called Doolittle Park, and they've had a lot of vandalism and whatnot there lately. And they have an unsolved case of somebody that went in and...
People are coming.
Okay. Who's coming? I know you said people. The people could be a group. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Mary. So there is an open investigation on the individuals that set the playground on fire. They're young hoodlums, as they're referred to. Apparently, we have a complete lack of appreciation for authority around here and the children. And it wouldn't surprise me if you're referring to them coming back to do more damage to that park, which is really sad because my son used to play there also, and he loved it. They did such a nice job too. It was a custom-built wooden playscape.
Welsh.
Somebody gonna welch on the deal for rebuilding the park? I hope they don't. They're waiting to find out if funding's gonna be available for them to rebuild it. We're almost home, Mary, so I ask if you have any more communication that you speak now, because once we get home, I'll be ending it. I thank you for speaking with us while we took this ride home.
Hate.
I hate to end it too. I've really enjoyed you speaking with us and sharing some communication. I'm certainly curious to know if you were speaking on behalf of some of my family members that have crossed over. Anyone that has passed, I have great love and respect for.
Cry.
Unfortunately, I don't cry much, not now. I've kind of moved past it. Losing somebody is very hard. It is extremely hard. And we all respond differently to things like that. Or you could be referring to my grandmother.
Yes, it's me.
So, I'm speaking with my grandmother. Her name was Anne. Eva Amanda. Or Amanda Rose. Eva Amanda Rose. Well, Anne, if I'm speaking to you, you do realize how greatly you're missed. I miss having you to talk to. I'm almost home now, so I'll be ending this in a matter of minutes. So I want to thank everybody for listening in tonight as we took our second episode of Seatbelt Spirit Talk.
Hall.
It was a fun haul. I definitely enjoyed it. Let me just park right behind the kid's car. Not hitting it.
Katie.
Well, Katie would be Tony's aunt, my husband's aunt that passed away. So, Katie, I want to thank everybody that's joined us tonight for our ride home. And I look forward to communicating again. Thank you. Be blessed. And I want to thank everybody for joining me for the ride home tonight. Thank you again, and I hope you stay tuned for other adventures. Good night.